Welcome to another episode of MTN Heroes of Change. We share with you today the stories of people whose work have given hope and continue to give hope to many in their societies. We trust that at the end of this series, you'll be inspired to also make a difference in your community. This program is brought to you by the MTN Ghana Foundation. Stay tuned in.
MTN Mobile Money, you can take your bank with you everywhere you go. Dial *170# and follow the prompts. Connect your bank account to your mobile money wallet to load and transfer money between your wallet and your bank account. Take your bank with you everywhere you go with MTN Mobile Money.
What else you take away? No.
Experience the new world of better money. Welcome back. In our very first story for tonight, we go last season to meet a man who was honored for his efforts in helping individuals affected and infected by the HIV/AIDS menace. Reverend Monsignor Alex Bobby Benson won the health category in the MTN Heroes of Change. We follow him to see how his project has been impacted by the MTN Heroes of Change.
Reverend Monsignor Alex Bobby Benson. It is for this life of love and generosity that MTN recognizes you as winner of Season 3.
And to join us to do the presentation, Mrs. Jemima Kote Walsh, Customer Relations Executive of MTN, will join us to do the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, Reverend Monsignor Alex Bobby Benson.
Local catching me say, Martin say Arabia by a friend say is and I'm saying Martin. Local catching me say, if you have been I'm seeing a poison home, if you see me poison many in her.
In Kofoyu, there people were calling it AIDS phony feel. Anytime you meet somebody and you want to give a description, they say, oh, AIDS phony feel. So I said, what is happening there?
Matthew 25 is from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 31 to 45, where Jesus said, I came, I was hungry, I was thirsty, I was naked, I was in prison. And I see people who are living with HIV/AIDS in the same category. I started as a chaplain at St. Dominic Hospital at Akwetia in 1998. I counsel them, we call it pre-counseling. And if the blood has been taken, post-counseling, let them know the results. And it's quite traumatic to tell a person that there's a virus in the blood. So after that, I saw the need to bring some people together to form a support group.
And Sana Minya, the Pomadi, you my apprentice, Minimi Kuneti, near Wotri, the train China, we could wunya, a born a basswood Jumemono. Now you hear cost staff, a man a car, if you know me could 97, a cockroach or my deafin. Say, I casacasa woman in Temuan and to cool the crew. I'm a Copenticus. I'm a cool when you phone me. That's all for Ampede. Told me for enemy, my men are the Samba. If you miss Samba, met you know, buy, she be a minimum by me by 4-1. We won't be by no 4-1, we will 4-1. akola ni nya be 6 months ko pe na mu se papa no so oyare so ati ti okọ hospital no aba okọ no aba na yare no so sra na ekọ enkofo sra na ekọ ti na ba ebu mu ani wo na papa ni di free mu no ti free mu afi fe na mi ti mi hu ya mbasa sa mi na father so aba and I'm sa akoye test no mu kire say doctor ni ka she mi say ebi abemu.
When I started a support group, most of the people who have supported so far are women. The support group is made up of 90% women and 10% men. The men don't tell their stories, but the women come with their children, following them. And one day I saw that, gosh, these women have all lost their partners, and the children are with them. Who is going to take care of the children? So quickly, I decided to support orphans and vulnerable children. Not necessarily children who are orphaned from HIV/AIDS, but sometimes they are just orphans and they have no one to care for them. I am Reverend Monsignor Alex Bobby Benson, a Catholic priest and founder of Matthew 25 Ministries in Koforidua. We support persons who are infected and affected by HIV/AIDS. I must say I was overwhelmed and happy to hear my name being called. And I remember climbing the steps. One of our priests came to escort me, and the dancers were dancing to welcome me. I didn't know whether I should dance with them or not. I didn't know the protocol, but later on I said I should have danced at the way to meet them till I reached the spot where I was to get the prize. And I must say it was a very happy day for me. Just after the award, I started getting calls from different people in the country who are living with the virus, and they called me asking me for help. And I was overwhelmed by that. I said, this money I got is meant for the work I'm doing here, especially at the hospice. So a few people, I tried to send them something little. And we have a success story. Recently, one girl, the house was supported since primary school, JHS, SHS. She just finished College of Education, and she's now a full-fledged teacher. So the house has helped her to pay her advance for accommodation, and she has started teaching, and we are very proud of that. And also I've started training in palliative care for some nurses and other people who are interested. We need to train personnel who work at the place and who volunteer there. So we started that, and I'm going to continue that seriously, because whoever is going to work or be at the facility should have knowledge of palliative care, how to support people who are facing end of life. I have 24 beds at the moment for the facility ready. I have locks, I've got it from overseas, good locks which are going to be fixed on the building. I've got a promise to have the building roofed. I would like to thank MTN for the exposure they are giving to me and my work. I'd like to thank them for every effort they have made to make what we are doing in Koforidua come out publicly and internationally.
It's always heartwarming to know that we are making the lives of people better through the MTN Heroes of Change. For the past decade, the MTN Ghana Foundation has invested millions of dollars in various corporate social initiatives. One of such interventions is the Tema General Hospital. Let's take a look at how MTN Ghana Foundation has rehabilitated the hospital to serve its patients better.
Wherever you go in Ghana, there's an MTN Ghana Foundation project making a difference in the lives of the people. Here is one such story.
Tema General Hospital is a district hospital and the biggest referral hospital in Tema Metropolis. People come as far as Sege. They refer them, some even from Akachi. And because it is the only biggest referral hospital, we are overwhelmed with patients.
Honestly, the labor ward doesn't see an abrupt end of care. You know, it's continuous. So in the morning you come and the ward is already full. The beds are not enough. In fact, we do an average of 25 to 30 deliveries in a day.
Some of the patients have to wait on the corridor, and as we move patients to theater, then they get beds.
Patrol, I feel blessed baby aku. Be General Hospital. E yet to na I bed no so. Inti me baby na ya na misro so better for me inti me nda. Me de need 2 bed no so na me matina akondwa ne mu. E ma me benya back pain any head pain na.
I came here to take the directorship appointment about 3 years ago. Before that, I was told that the women who had delivered were sleeping 2, 3, 4 on the bed. When I started job proper, I started contacting, making noise, as we say in Ghana, for assistance to governments, to individuals, to corporate bodies and all that. So in the office one day that MTN came.
The Tema General Hospital project started last year in November. MTN Ghana Foundation team had an appeal in the media regarding the state in which the maternity block was. And so we got to know that there was congestion in the hospital. You know, we had a lot of needs at the maternity block. We had a lot of needs for mothers to be attended to. You know, the beds that they had were not enough.
As standard practice, with MTN Foundation, if we identify a project, we have a consultant that we work with. That's an architect. So in terms of designing the project, the engagements with the various stakeholders to be able to identify what will suit their purposes. So we went through that process with the hospital authorities, and then the project was designed, and then we saw how much it will cost. We approached the board for approval of the funds, and then the project took off.
This is a 40-bed maternity ward being put up by MTN Ghana Foundation for Tema General Hospital. The 40-bed comprises of 20-bed first stage or labor ward. The other part is a 20-bed lying-in ward. That means after delivery. We also have consulting room, a patient assessment room, nurses and doctors changing and restrooms. We have a visitors lounge, a kitchenette for the staff. And then we have 2 delivery wards and a theater and other auxiliary facilities to make the place complete.
But we are very happy as staff working here, and we are more relieved.
The patients are happy, the staff are also happy, and Ghana will benefit. So we are grateful, and we hope that in the nearest future they will come back.
Over the past decade, the MTN Ghana Foundation has led the way in corporate social investments in Ghana by impacting the lives of over 4 million people in the areas of education, health and economic empowerment across the country. The MTN Ghana Foundation has spent about $13 million on over 142 various social development initiatives, brightening lives and making a difference.
Welcome back. The world has made significant advancements in many areas: science, health, space travel, and education. Yet, in many parts of the world, the outdated practice of child marriage still persists. Millions of teenage girls are married off. Their dreams are cut short in the process. Right here in Ghana, many girls have been victims of this practice. Linat Osman Kundaribuo is a young woman who has decided to take a stand against child marriage. Let's look at how she's using every available resource to help these girls ravaged by this heinous practice.
My name is Salahuddin Al-Hassan. I went to Sabo, which is in Upper West here. I went to administer a questionnaire. So there, a lot of them consistently kept mentioning Linat. They were not even mentioning her organization's name. So I later on inquired to know who this Linat was. And I got to realize that it was Linat Osman Kondarebo, the nominee. Linat identifies teen mothers who unfortunately will have to terminate their education because of being pregnant at an early age or being forced to marry. She tries to pass through the necessary protocols to care for those of them who happen to have children or babies. She gives care to those babies as well as their mothers. Linat deserves recognition because MTN Heroes of Change is a huge platform. But once MTN gives her that recognition, I think it's just in itself going to brighten her chances of getting a lot more support, such that she can offer better services to these kids and their mothers and as well even reach out to many others who she cannot reach out to because of some constraints.
My name is Yeyin. My father and my mother passed away when I was schooling. After both my parents passed away, my uncle forced me to marry one man so that he would collect the dowry for his son, bride price. The man took me to South. He went and locked me inside the room. He was telling people that he have a lady here. Anybody who wants to have sex with a lady, the fellow should come and have sex with me, and he will collect the money. Men have been coming all over. One day, one man just came inside and had sex with me, and I asked, why are you doing all this to me? I said, if only you can help me to live here, because my life is in danger. I don't know that whether I can get so many diseases from the different kind of men who have been having sex with me. The man left out and came back and gave me money and sent me to the station, and I was able to come back to work. I didn't know that I was pregnant for 3 months. When I came to work, I can't go back to the community where I come from. I have to be roaming in Watan.
At the age of 25, I had postpartum depression. So one can only imagine what these children who give birth out of wedlock go through. It was one day when I went to the regional hospital and then found this teenage mother who had actually delivered but could not even afford a pad and a cloth to hold her blood. It then dawned on me that there is more that I needed to do for her and then other teen mothers in our societies.
The death of a child can trigger so many emotions, from excitement to joy and fierce anxiety, and one thing people might not suspect, and that is depression.
One day I heard of Madalena saying something in radio, because I have to trace and go and see where Madalena is always saying. I had to be asking people on the way going to the radio station. Lo and behold, I met Madalena in the radio station.
Some of these moms come in traumatized. So what we do is that we try to get them counseling from a professional to interact with them and then to give them advice as to how to go about their lives in terms of even planning their families and all that. Because these are just kids. They know nothing about being mothers.
Madalena sent me to a Sinterest place. Now I'm learning how to sew. Almost getting to 1.5 years now.
So today we are going to look at
Some of them are actually willing to go back to school after birth, but others are not willing. They just want a training or a vocation that they can survive on to be able to take care of themselves and then their kids. So we train them in various vocations like beading and then soap making and then tailoring. We just don't leave the teen kids out. We try to engage them in terms of basic numeracy and literacy, since we cannot afford to put them in regular schools.
Lynette Osman's ancestral home is Busa, and she grew up here. So she saw all that was happening in this community with regards to teenage pregnancy and teenage birth.
When you come to northern part of Ghana, the child marriage prevalence is really on the rise, and it hasn't been easy funding this project because I fund it from the benevolence of friends and from my salary as a teacher. And so far, we have been able to reach out to about 2,000 students from across 10 schools that we have the classroom. We also have a radio program known as Our Voice, and that program too has been able to reach out to more than 12,000 people because we stream online.
Thank you, Madalena. I want to thank you for all being kind to me, for helping me all my needs, everything.
My name is Linat Osman Kundaribo. We seek to educate and empower the teenage mother who had to drop out of school due to pregnancy.
Rise up this morning, smiled at the rising sun. 3 little birds pitched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
How you use your data is up to you.
About a thing.
With the best internet speeds, it's amazing what you can do on MTN.
My message to you.
Thank you very much for staying with us to watch how individuals have impacted and continue to impact their society in diverse ways. The stories we showcase are meant to motivate us to also be change makers in our society. For more information, follow us on our social media pages displayed on your screen. Remember, this program is brought to you by the MTN Ghana Foundation. Next week on the MTN Heroes of Change, we feature a brave man going out of his way to rehabilitate people considered to be mentally ill. Till then, have a good evening.